ahead. Thank you. A recent engagement on a reality TV show only after a few weeks is really just the talk on social media lately. Many people are wondering if getting engaged to someone so quickly after meeting will really last. Blanca Cobb and I are exploring the answer to that question this morning. So Blanca, let's jump right in. How does someone make the decision to get married so quickly after meeting each other?
A lot of times, Stacey, it's based on feelings. Many people believe in love at first sight. There was a poll done in 2017 by Elite Singles where 72% of men and 61% of women believe in love at first sight. So what happens when you meet somebody and you're attracted to them and you have these feelings of love? This is where you have this flood of hormones, dopamine and norepinephrine. And that feeling is very strong. And if you know what type of partner you want, or you feel like you have look to see what's out there, you just might go with these feelings and say, hey, what's the point of waiting? This feeling is so strong. I haven't felt it with anyone else.
So should people be cautious when they feel this way?
Absolutely. Because eventually those hormones are going to balance out. They're going to drop. Look, there's a honeymoon period for everybody that lasts about a year to a year and a half. Sometimes it can push 2 years, where you focus on all the positive and you make you make excuses for all of the negatives that you see. You kind of blow them off. But just because you have these feelings, there's more to a relationship than that. It's how you solve problems. Are your values very similar? What's your long-term compatibility? So there's other things to consider just besides those feelings.
So how can the notion love at first sight impact relationships?
Well, let's start with the positive first. It can imprint you where you have this feeling like, oh, it's at that first impression, where those first impressions last for a very long time. So if you have this love at first sight feeling, then later on in your relationship, you will come back to that because that's what you're feeling, right? It made that imprint, that very strong imprint. But negatively is this: you can doubt love if you never feel that strong lightning bolt of attraction or love at first sight. You might think, oh, this person's okay, but I'm just not feeling that. So there's got to be somebody else. And you just keep looking and looking when you could definitely pass over somebody who could be great for you and that you have loving feelings for, but because it isn't that so intense initially, you just might let them go.
Yeah, it's really interesting how some people say it was love at first sight. For example, my husband and I definitely felt that way. But then others, they start off as friends, or maybe they didn't even like each other at first and they end up getting married. So it's really interesting to hear about people's different love journeys, but gotta love all of them, right?
Absolutely. And you bring up a really good point, Stacey. There's more than one way to find that person, right?
That is totally
right.
right.
And I think people need to explore that.
Yeah. Blanca, thank you so much. You can continue this conversation with her on her Facebook page. That's Blanca Cobb, Body Language Expert.